I've seen people say, oh, I'm going to save and I'll come back next year or the year after. And 9 times out of 10, I never hear from them again because unfortunately life happens and they forget to save. Whether you're ready now or just starting your journey, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Welcome back to the Purchase Path, where we simplify the road to home ownership one episode at a time. I'm your host, Dez Loessberg, founder of Azcension Homes. And today we're diving into 3 key things every buyer needs to understand. Let's talk about lender credits, working with realtors, and the real new home buying process. So whether you're just starting out or maybe saving for a down payment, this is your roadmap. So let's talk about the first part 1, which is what are lender credits? What exactly can you use those for? So starting with lender credits, think of lender credits as a tool your lender can use to help you reduce your upfront closing costs. So here's how it kind of works. Instead of paying thousands out of your pocket at closing, the lender or builder might be able to offer some of those to cover those fees. And what you'll do is you'll exchange that for either a higher purchase price, or maybe the builder will build it into their contract, or maybe you exchange it for a slightly higher interest rate with the lender. So for example, if your interest rate is qualified at 6.5% and you got $5,000 in closing costs, the lender could offer you a 6.75%, but give you a credit to pay for those. So while your interest rate might be slightly higher and you're paying a higher payment over time, you don't have to bring anything to the table. Conversely, what you could do is you can ask the builder to go ahead and provide that credit for you. Now, say they're selling a home for $250,000 and you need that $6,000 in closing costs credit. Well, you can adjust the contract sales price to $256,000 and get your closing costs paid for. Or in this type of market, maybe you have a little bit of leverage and you can negotiate that already in your $250,000. It's a saturated market with inventory right now. So right now is a great time to be able to negotiate that. So the benefits are you get to keep more cash in your pocket for moving costs, furniture, or emergencies. And then that can be the difference between getting into a home now versus having to wait to save for another year. And trust me when I say, being in the lending industry for over 20 years, I've seen people say, oh, I'm going to save and I'll come back next year or the year after. And 9 times out of 10, I never hear from them again because unfortunately life happens and they forget to save, or it's just not motivational for them, or some unexpected expense comes up and they have to go through their savings. The downside of that is you're going to pay more over time in interest or loan amount. So if you embed your closing costs with the purchase price, then your overall loan amount will be a little bit higher. Or if you take the slightly higher interest rate, your monthly payment might be a little bit higher as well. So it's not technically free money. You're actually trading upfront savings for long-term costs. I will share with you at Azcension, we work with our lending partners directly, and they understand exactly how to do creative financing, and will customize the contract and their loan terms to get you that 100% financing, either through grant programs, VA, USDA, or FHA financing, whatever it is. Your credits will go towards either buying your rate down or some of your traditional standard title costs or anything else. So that way you can put that away for a rainy day or furnish that beautiful new dream home that you get. So let's talk about part 2, working with a realtor. So I hear this all the time. Hey, I have a realtor, but it's a new home. Do we work with them? Do you pay commissions? All of that. And the reality is, in most cases, yes. It depends on the builder. Some builders, they don't like to work with realtors. Here at Azcension, we do, but some builders do not, and a lot of builders do, and they offer incentives to pay them a commission. And it'll also depend on your confidence level. So sometimes you want someone on your side, whether if you're a first-time home buyer, sometimes you want that advocate or someone negotiating on your behalf, or maybe you need someone to translate what certain terms mean, like due diligence when you're waiting for your home to be built. What a strong agent will do is they'll help you understand the contracts and the timelines. They'll make the phone calls for you and give you updates, and you can just not worry about that and have to stress about that or wonder what's going on. They'll do that work for you. They'll manage all your inspections, your appraisals, what's standard, what's traditional, what they've seen in the past. They'll negotiate any repairs or price adjustments if anything comes up during that time period. And they'll be the ones communicating with the lender, just find out what's going on, what's needed. They'll be kind of your communicator for you. They'll work on your behalf and communicate to the builder, to your lender, to the appraiser, to the inspectors, and take that off your plate, especially if you're very busy with your family, your kids. Trust me, I know I have 3 children of my own, and sometimes you don't have time to pick up that phone call and have to deal with that. So that's what a realtor will do. And at Azcension, we've simplified that process so you don't feel overwhelmed. We price our homes transparently and our timelines are consistent. And we work with you every step of the way. Now, if you do have a realtor, we work with them directly as well. And we'll even pay them a commission as well if they bring you in-house. So if you're a realtor out there and you're looking for a better option than existing homes in where we build, go ahead and bring your clients through. We have a wonderful product and we'll definitely take care of you as well. We have in-house buyer support. And if you don't have a realtor and would like one, we do have partnerships with realtors who work with your best interest. They're not guided by their commission. So sometimes, especially in a slower market, you might feel a little bit of pressure, and that's just human nature. Sometimes some realtors haven't been paid in a while, or maybe they're questioning if they want to stay in the market. But we partner with realtors who are good-hearted people and lead with their heart first. And so we'll get you connected with them so that way they have your best intentions in mind. Let's talk about the third part of that, and that's the new home buying process. So let's talk about the actual process of what it looks like when you buy a new home. It's kind of your step-by-step blueprint. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get a pre-qualification. Now, we have lease to own and financing pre-qualifications for our homes, and we'll get you connected with our trusted lender partners. And if that is not a yes right now, we have lease to own options or lease purchase options that we can get you qualified for as well. Our lending partners will review your income, your credit, your budget. They'll know what you can afford, not only what you can afford, but what you want to pay, and backwards engineer that. So sometimes what you can afford on paper with lenders might be different than what you're comfortable with. For example, I've seen folks qualify for a $3,000 a month payment. Well, they're not ready for that because they're paying $1,800 a month in rent. And so that's a huge bump. And while it sounds nice, sometimes your comfort versus what you can afford is 2 completely different things. So first thing is talk with a professional, get pre-qualified, not only for the financing aspect, but for the lease to own aspect as well. Step 2 is just see what we have available. If you're working with new home builders, you'd have different floor plans, different lots, locations. We have homes currently on the market as well. Pick your floor plan. We have 3 currently. It's the Aspire, Beacon, and Compass models, and they all vary in size and layout, and make sure that the lot is what you're going to need. So for example, we have a couple lots or a couple homes that are existing right now that have premium locations. We have a corner lot that have a side RV access gate that allow you to put your toys back in your backyard. So a lot of people like recreational vehicles, or you need extra parking. So we have that on one of our lots. Not all of our lots have that. So see what your lifestyle requires from you, and then decide on not only floor plan, but your lot location and size. If you have a growing family, lots of kids, and they need room to play, sometimes that smaller backgrounds with some of these new home builders wouldn't work for your family. Once you get pre-qualified, you pick your floor plan, your lot, everything looks great. You know exactly what it looks like. It's time to sign your contract and open escrow. And so once we have a contract in hand, we'll get escrow open, and your realtor or we can help you along that way to know exactly what that timeline looks like. So all escrow is a third-party title company, holds your deposit, manages the paperwork, takes the wires from the lender and disperses and records new ownership. So that's required, and I definitely would not do anything outside of escrow because you're protected. You have title insurance, owner's insurance. So basically you're taking new title to the home without liens and encumbrances. And honestly, if you're financing, it's going to be a requirement from your lender anyway. So that's that step. And then eventually we'll close. So if it's an existing home, as soon as the title records or deed of trust records, you'll get your keys, and congratulations, you're a new homeowner. If it's still under construction, you'll have to wait until the certificate of occupancy is completed. And then once we have that, you'll get your lender to sign off, finalize the appraisal, things like that. Then you'll be able to close escrow, change ownership, and get your keys at that point. And then eventually you'll just do your final walkthrough and closing. And so your realtor or we will do a final walkthrough with you, and then you'll mark anything that needs to be addressed, and then we will be able to make any adjustments if needed. So whether you want to embed some upgrades or something you want to build on along the home, we can do that as well at that point. And then you move in. So once you have your keys, title's transferred, you're the new owner, you get to move in, and that's the biggest moment. That's our payoff, not only from us, or for us, but for our homeowners as well. I love seeing when folks get keys, they get overly excited. It's a big moment for them. And that's the final touch on everything. And then once you move in, you just start your new life of home ownership versus renting. When you get your keys for your new apartment or rental home, yes, it's exciting, not quite as exciting as purchasing from, say, us through a lease purchase option or a new home builder. It's just a totally different feel, as you can imagine. So whether you're using lender credits, working with a realtor, or you're just getting started and you don't know what to do, we got you. We can take care of you. We'll get you over to our realtor and lender partners. And at Azcension, we don't just build homes, we build futures. And so thank you for joining us today on The Purchase Path. If today's episode helped bring you clarity, share it with someone who needs hope and a plan. And until next time, keep moving forward. The cost of living has pushed too many families out of the communities they love. They work hard, but still can't afford enough space. Rent keeps rising and home ownership feels like a distant dream. That's where The Purchase Path comes in. I'm Dez Loessberg, founder of Azcension Homes, and I retired after 22 years in the lending industry after I kept seeing the same pattern. Good, hardworking families getting locked out, not because they didn't deserve a home, but because no one ever showed them a real way forward. This podcast exists to change that. Here you'll learn about real paths to ownership like zero down financing options, down payment grants, lease to own programs, and financing options that are actually designed for families like yours. This isn't about fluffy dreams or get rich quick advice. It's about clarity, options, strategy. So whether you're relocating, renting, or just tired of waiting, you'll get the tools and the truth to move forward one step at a time. Follow The Purchase Path now on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen, and start your journey with Azcension Homes. Your path, your purchase, your time.